Today I'm going to try something just a little bit different. Most of my commentary up to this point is based off of current events or hot topic political and social issues that I believe my viewers wanted to hear about. But there's been a growing trend in conservative media to review, well, essentially stupid people who post some of the most idiotic videos on TikTok and other social media outlets. But instead of adding my take to an already well-covered subject, video reviews of dumb people on parade, I thought there were more people posting idiotic comments on Twitter, Facebook, and other social media outlets. And I believe it is my responsibility to give these people the attention they deserve and crave. So, the Office of the Patriot is jumping onto the reacting bandwagon with a new segment called Why Did You Post It? So stay tuned while we dive into and have fun with some of social media's best, worst posts. Hello, and welcome to the Office of the Patriot. In this office, I try to make sense out of the nonsense of the progressive left. If you are a subscriber, thank you for your continued viewership. It is appreciated. If you are a returning viewer, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future presentations. And if you were a first-time visitor to my channel, well, congratulations on finding it. It's usually hidden by the YouTube algorithm. However, I hope you find the content worth coming back for. My name is Myron Ybarra, and I'm your host. I figured I would start today's segment of Why Did You Post It? With the current leader of the free world, bumbling Joe Biden's recent Facebook post. In this post, Biden, or in reality probably one of his staff writers, responded to a letter generated by someone named Tina. I'm going to assume that's a female, but today that might be a bit presumptuous. In the letter, Tina goes on to say that she's a high school senior who's about to graduate and wanted to thank Joe Biden for being the President of the United States. That's sweet. Tina goes on to say that she's less worried about attending college because Joe Biden is president. And she asks for words of advice or tips. Joe's Facebook response? First, he goes into the need for character. And for a guy who's going through a number of investigations surrounding the misuse of his office and enriching himself through it, as well as mishandling of classified documents, he's probably not the best role model for anything surrounding character. Unless we're talking about something along the lines of, say, a Warner Brothers cartoon figure. Next, Joe goes on to say that his daughter taped a quote from Rules for Happiness by Immanuel Kant on his mirror to remind him of all the good things they had in life. It read, "You need something to do, someone to love, and something to hope for." I'm going to guess that the something to do is to control all Americans and enrich himself in the process. Referring to someone to love is himself, and the something to hope for is to stay in power and to stay out of prison. Joe closes his letter by telling Tina that her generation is the best educated, most talented, and most tolerant generation in history, and they are posed to answer these questions for America. Who are we? What do we stand for? And what do we want to be? Well, Joe, I got news for you. These questions were answered over 250 years ago. The document that gives you those answers is called the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And those answers still hold true today. Maybe take a couple of minutes to reacquaint yourself with the information contained within those documents before you post, because this post confirms what most people suspect, that you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. For the next Why Did You Post It faux pas, we move to Twitter, or is it X? This next tweet may seem like I'm picking on one of the kids on the short bus, but I mean, if AOC's dumb enough to post it, then she should expect that I or someone else is going to publicly recognize her stupidity. In this tweet, AOC used a Trump-era action that wiped out some debt for disabled veterans as the basis to insist Biden use his executive power to wipe out over $6 billion of student debt. Looks like my lesson on fair isn't the same as equal is something AOC never learned. You have to ask yourself, why would someone advocate for removing virtually all student debt? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First, AOC may have student debt that she would like to be wiped out or would like to get wiped out. So personal gain may be one of the motivators. But I don't believe that's the primary one. AOC and her ilk know that by canceling student debt, the United States government has to assume it. Debt doesn't disappear into the ether. And if government assumes it, it's inevitably going to need to be funded. And those funds will come from us in the form of new taxes and higher existing taxes. Canceling student debt is just another step towards redistribution of wealth. And this is something that socialists like AOC have been advocating since they took office. And because Bumbling Joe is so much fun to poke fun at, let's go to his Twitter feed where he touts Bidenomics in action. In his laughable tweet, Joe Biden asserts that in his first 3 months in office, he created 13,373,000 jobs. However, just below that tweet, Twitter posted a fact check of their own from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, which notes that as a result of schmovid lockdowns, many of those jobs, approximately 9.4 million, were jobs that were recovered as a result of the pandemic layoffs ordered by the Biden administration. In reality, only 3.97 million jobs were created in the 30 months that Biden has been in office, a fair amount shy of Trump's job creation record of nearly 6 million new jobs. Further, unemployment pre-pandemic was at an all-time low under the Trump administration, and shortly after Bumbling Joe took office and instituted the lockdowns, unemployment skyrocketed to over 8%. The downward turn from 2020 through today, in reality, is just a result of the re-entry of people back into the job market. That's much like Biden spending $1, getting 50 cents in change, and then saying that he has $1.50. Maybe a remediation in consumer math should be in order for Bumbling Joe. I could go on and on with why did you posts and tweets for hours on end, but all good things need to come to an end. If you would like to see more of this type of commentary, please take the time to comment below and maybe even include some ridiculous posts or tweets you've come across for future episodes. And if you enjoy the content, please take the time to like, subscribe, and share my channel on your social media. It is appreciated. And as always, have a blessed day and stay safe out there.